I'll give it to Alpha Male Strategies. He says this: a man without purpose distracts himself with pleasure.
Roll me, Mac.
What did you learn about yourself during holidays with loved ones? Okay, well, I love to be honest with my audience. I learned a lot. What I learned was that my growth in dealing with, toxic situations, if you will, and learning that even more how nothing anyone does is ever about you. Don't get me wrong, I slipped up once, I slipped up just once, but for the most part, I kept my mental composure as I navigated through different things that happened and realizing that there's somebody else outside of yourself going through shit. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind the next time you think everything somebody does is about your ass. That's what every day teaches me this. And if you can not open the door, protect your peace on the inside. If you can not open the door to negativity, not open the door to toxicity, not open the door to people trying to get in your fucking house so they can burn your shit down the way they burning down their shit. One of my favorite things by Thich Nhat Hanh talks about putting out your fire first. You know what I'm saying? Let's say a motherfucker set your house on fire. You gonna go and run and turn his shit on fire, or you gonna put your house out first? One of my greatest analogies I think I've ever read, me and T-Dot. T-Dot is one. So actually, she really pointed that one out to me. You know what I'm saying? I had the book first. I put it on her group that she had going on. You know what I'm saying? For I think it was like a therapy or a session or something like that, like a women's group, some kind of shit. And it really just registered with me. I was like, yeah. Put out your fucking house first before putting out somebody else's. And I'm grateful, man. I'm just grateful to take everything as it is. Amor fati, not having any expectations. I slipped up once because of my expectations of people, you know what I'm saying? But that's on me. That's not on that person. That person was showing me who they were. And you gonna take me as I'm is, or you gonna take me as I'm ain't, And but that happens, and you learn from it. So I'm grateful for the experience. I'm grateful that it happened. I'm grateful what I learned from it. And I send healing energy to the individuals involved. You know what I'm saying? Positive and healing energy, man. We're not putting out nothing negative. Fuck that, it's 2024 shit. No, just fuck the year. Use the now, the present moment. Don't get me wrong. We're going to date years and shit. Happy New Year's. Great, do all that. But just worry about the present fucking moment. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. We may not make it out this bitch alive tonight. We might not make it out this bitch alive today. We might not, so it's just to look at life like that, right? If this was my last day, would I give a fuck if he cut me over in traffic? Would I give a fuck if my boss talked to me a certain type of way that I wish I, could bust his ass? No, I would not hold that shit in. You know what I'm saying? But it's one of those things where you just have to learn. But you know how I like to get off topic. Let's bring it back, okay? So time with loved ones, I learned, like I said, I learned about growth. I learned about my ability to deal with negative energy and to kind of shift with that and not take it personal. You know what I'm saying? And not allow anyone to project their insecurities onto me. I learned to establish healthy boundaries. That it's always, it's always pricey with family and those that you love very closely, but healthy boundaries are essential for everybody. Family is no exclusion. You know what I'm saying? Don't put anybody on no labels. Don't put anybody on pedestals. People are people. Treat them as they are. As I like to say, aura. Treat them as they are. You know what I'm saying? And and just see them as human. End of the day. If you get angry with them, that was a choice that you made. What we're going to do in 2024. I know I said fuck the year shit, but in 2024, we're going to choose our emotions. We're not going to be like, oh, I'm supposed to be mad because this shit happened. You know what I'm saying? But with that time, I saw growth in my young, in my younger brother. You know what I'm saying? As a man, that's one thing I learned. I love seeing that. I love seeing him grow. I got to see family go through things. You know, I got to see how family can overcome adversity. I got to see how a family can overcome conflict to some degree. You know what I mean? Somewhat healthy. And then I got to see I got to be around different families. I got to see how different cultures do different things. And that was fun. And that was fun to see the different party and the energy, you know what I'm saying? People that's in pain, people that's not in pain, regardless of whatever race it is, you know what I'm saying? Black people, white people, you know what I mean? Able to see pain in different form and understanding that we all can relate to it. But it's a choice of how we respond to said pain. We can sit there and be entitled and feel like somebody owes us shit because fucked up shit happened to us. Or you can press on with a smile just to know people's story and what they've been through. People that they lost, you know what I mean? And they still going out racing fast ass cars, you know what I'm saying, with their new boyfriend because their husband died, you know what I'm saying? Talking about my neighbor, you know what I mean, back home. But like seeing different people respond to shit in a healthy way and a unhealthy way. And choices that had to be made, man. And I learned so much just from watching them. And what I learned about myself is that my ability to do things alone. You know what I mean? Like there's so much power in being okay with being alone. You know what I'm saying? I'm in good company. I'm in great company when it's just me. I was able to work out. You know, I was able to go to different military bases to check out the gyms and stuff like that. That was cool. I got to work out with one of my homies from high school, you know what I mean? Middle school for that matter. We go that far back. And it was a good time. What I love about those moments with my high school friends in the gym is the ability to have that brotherhood conversation and see where we've gone from childhood until adulthood, where we are right now. Things we're not so proud of, things we're proud of, just things in general. And I just love to be able to recognize growth and what's to be grateful for. Like you can talk about how shit can be fucked up, how my family ain't gonna ever get it right, but you have family. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Protect your damn self mentally. You know what I'm saying? Have your boundaries, your healthy boundaries, but take people for where they are. Love them where they are. They loved you where you were, and sometimes we forget that. You know, once you leave the nest and all that, but that's the beauty of coming home. Sometimes sometimes you can be humbled by life, and it can show you where you came from, and it can show you where you've gone. It can show you where you want to go with life. And I take it everything as it is, and I enjoyed it. Like I said, I truly enjoyed it. Being around friends, being around family, being around friends becoming family, being around people you've known for years. And to see them go through shit, you know what I'm saying? Everyday life, like when I come to visit, I'm not a guest, but I don't live here every day, right? So I'm just observing people in their element, what they do on a day-to-day basis, and I'm just sometimes in awe of just seeing people that I've known for years just either grow or sit where they are, or becoming fathers, becoming grandmothers, becoming grandfathers, becoming divorcees, like different shit, like just life is just happening around me. And the reminder of what it is, I'm grateful to have my peace. I'm grateful to have peace that I have when I am, by me being alone. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy spending time with people and stuff like that. But There is nothing like the peace you get when you learn to live alone. And it's intoxicating, it's addictive, and you just don't want anyone to hinder that. You don't want anybody to project their insecurity, and especially once you put those lenses on and you recognize how many people project their shit onto you. You don't want to go back to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like no, I don't. No, fuck that. Keep that shit over there. You know what I mean? Like when you come over here, come with positivity. You know what I'm saying? Let's cut the entitlement shit. Let's stop being, not to say it's you don't get upset about things, but damn, how many times y'all gonna talk about the same shit? But what that does is teaches things to be grateful for. And what I can say is I'm forever grateful for anything that I've gone through up until this point. I can say that some of the worst moments of my life taught me the best lessons of my life. Like, there was so much that was taught to me in my pain, and I had to see it as lessons. I had to see it as growth. I had to see my entitled ass thinking I'm supposed to have a good life. I'm supposed to have great things always happening to me. When you're on social media, that shit can get you caught up in trying to be with the highlight reel. That's not real life. Real life is up. Real life is down. Real life is perspective all the way around. I just made that up right there. And like when you have these things, man, you realize that you're just in this by yourself. All of this shit, everything you feel, somebody, says something to you and you take it personal. That's on you. That was everything between you. You didn't have to take it personal. There's power in indifference. You do not have to feel something because that's what society trains you to do when it comes to that particular thing. You can just, okay, cool, whatever. That happens. I'm not saying that you don't feel something when you lose somebody. You know what I mean? Shout out to anybody who's lost a loved one in the most recent, you know what I mean? But like the power of your brain and being able to manage your mind, you know what I'm saying? Like processing things and not allowing yourself to be swallowed up by your ego. And what I've learned with my ego is that if I am in a position where I feel like I'm saying all the worst things in the world to little Rome, who didn't get enough love, you know what I'm saying, through my perspective and whatnot, this traumatized version of me is driving the fear vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Fear is driving the vehicle, and I'm never gonna be enough. And I gotta be perfect to get love. And if I don't, and if I make mistakes, then I won't be loved. So I'm just beating myself the fuck down. And then you gotta detach yourself from that and look at shit from space and see how small that is and realize how important you're not. You ain't that damn important, Rome, for you to be beating your damn self up. And sometimes it takes being alone with yourself to recognize that shit. And whenever you do that, one way I've learned to get out of there is to kind of, socialize, if you will, with certain energies. You gotta be mindful who the fuck who you damn socialize with these days. But being able to connect, really, doing something for someone unconditionally. Now, don't do shit you don't want to do. You know what I mean? Don't let nobody guilt you into some shit. That's manipulation. You know what I mean? But like, take things for what they are. No one's entitled to shit. You're not entitled to anything. Don't have any expectations of people. Yes, you can ask for stuff, but they can also tell you no. But keep in mind, it works the same in reverse. They can ask for shit, but you can tell them no. You don't have to give anything. But if you're raised in an environment where you get family ask you to do something and then you tell them no, and then they start, catching a fucking attitude and taking it personal, then they try to guilt you into doing shit for them. And then you become an adult and you grow up around, and then you get around people and you attract the same type of energies, and somebody asks you to do something, you tell them no, and then they throw a tantrum like a child. And then you're like, man, I want that love, so I'm gonna do it. Fuck that. I'm saying that. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? If it means if I gotta do what you tell me to do for love, then that's not fucking love. You know what I'm saying? No. Learn the fucking power of no. And I learned that being around my loved ones. You know what I'm saying? And it was in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying? It was healthy. You know, it was kind of uncomfortable, but it's practice. You gotta practice that shit. It's like running into a cold shower. That shit's scary as shit on the outside, but once you know what I'm saying, once you get under the water, then it's like, oh, it's not so bad. That shit's still cold, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know, a lot of times we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. And I believe that's a Seneca quote. Quote me on it, Google it, whatever, YouTube it, Bing, whatever your search engine is. I think Seneca said that we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. And to that point, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So, I mean, I learned so much about myself during the holidays. I learned how giving I can be. I learned how much of a listener that I am. I learned how much more I can learn about being a better person for myself and others, especially my kid. You know what I'm saying? Keep learning how to be a better father, be supportive, and all those things. You know what I'm saying? But what can I say? I'm grateful for family. I'm grateful for loved ones. I'm grateful for this platform. And yeah, I had a great time during the holidays. Let's get it this year. How do I get my woman to respect me? Number one, respect yourself. And you do that by taking care of yourself. You do that by focusing on yourself. All right? You do not put the focus into a woman. All right? You focus on your fucking self and building yourself up. Don't get me wrong. We are human. We can get caught up sometimes in our emotions, even as men, you know what I mean? And you have what they call, it's a case of like, I can't live without you type shit, you know what I'm saying? Which is a toxic form of love. Not even the woman that you truly love. I'm not saying she didn't truly love her, but the woman that you truly love, I don't think that's fair to her, to you, like you making her responsible for your happiness. I can't do it without you. Nope, don't do shit like that. Don't do that. You know, let her compliment your life, yes. Let them compliment your life, yes. But that whole "I can't live without you," the Jodeci lyrics, all the R&B from the 90s and the fucking 80s that made you feel like you was gonna be, you know, you go through breakups and shit, and you put on this fucking music, and I can't live without him, girl. You know, and all this other shit. But you definitely can. But for my men, focus on building yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to give a woman something to respect. And if you do not respect yourself, then who the fuck is going to respect you? You know, if you allow certain things, toxic things, to go down in your frame, because it better be your frame. Understand this, a woman is going to enter your frame, and make sure you give her a frame to respect. Give her a kingdom to enter. If she cannot enter a safe kingdom, she will turn that motherfucker out. Because let me tell you, in my experience of being around women in my life, women in my family, women I've met in the military, women I've met at work, outside of the military, women I remember from school, women I've talked to after fucking high school. I'm gonna tell you like this. If it ain't gonna get done, she's gonna fucking do it. And you very well may not get the reins back. Unfortunately, depending on the type of woman that you got. But 9 times out of 10, you're not getting that shit back. So you will be forced to enter a woman's frame. And a woman's frame is this, because this is the emotional roller coaster in which their engine runs on. Now, us as men, don't get me wrong, I know some women can testify about some niggas that been fucking emotional roller coasters. But what I believe we must be as men for our women, for our families and all that stuff is this. You gotta be stoic, you know what I'm saying? And and hold your ground. But don't be dumb. You know what I'm saying? Don't not listen about certain shit, but you make sure that you are the final say so, because it's all gonna rely upon you. You know what I'm saying? You'll never see a defensive coordinator getting their ass chewed out, you know what I'm saying, for a loss in a football game. No, they talk to the head coach. And if you got the frame, you are the head coach. So if you want a woman to respect you, you got to start with respecting yourself. So let's go with self-care, right? Mental health, number one. Physical health is good, but you ain't shit without mental health. I don't know how many people we've seen, athletes commit suicide and all that stuff. Mental health is number one, for real. Like no joke. And so you have to have your mind in order so that you can manage the emotions that come within your family from everybody that you have in your frame, be it your kids, be it your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend these days and shit. Whatever it is, being able to manage your emotions is very, very key in a woman respecting a frame, a masculine frame. You have to learn what masculinity is. If you like me and you came from, a family environment who we didn't have like the best examples for masculinity, but you can learn. You know what I'm saying? That's no shot at any man that came before me in our family. We just didn't know. We did the best that we could, but we have new information. We can absorb that information and we can be better. You know what I'm saying? There were people born poor. There's no knock on them being poor, but now they're millionaires. They learned how to do it. So you can learn how to become masculine. Just don't expect, depending on the woman you have, to wait. So you very well may lose that woman that you're with, but when you're with the time by yourself, learn to build yourself up. Disappear. Stay the fuck off social media. That shit is draining for your mental health. All the comparisons, we're all guilty of that shit. But staying to yourself, learning how to become a better man. And you know what I'm saying? And block out all negativity, anything that's not meant, that doesn't do you good for your spirit. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people don't understand that you're doing what's best for you. And then they want to project their insecurities onto you. And they want you to be responsible for their happiness. You have to have a strong backbone and decide, no matter what, I don't have to explain myself. I don't have to, take on your shit. Don't ever allow a person to make their problems your problems. We got our own. You deal with yours, I deal with mine. And so, gaining respect, have respect for self. Dress well, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be wearing the flyest shit, but wear something that's fit to your frame. You know what I mean? Get fashion tips. Learn fashion. All right, you want to be respected by your woman. Learn fashion. Because if you look good, you feel good is number one. So your confidence level is going to rise. Learn your best. Do your best to try to be as authentic as you can every day. Don't get me wrong. Some of us grew up in a thing where we felt like we had to wear a mask in order to be loved, in order to fit in. So do your best every day to find the authentic you. When you recognize yourself doing things to fit in, recognize it. Be aware of that and work at it the next day. Don't give up on yourself. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? Don't cry to quit. Cry to keep going. Like E.T. say. E.T. say, don't cry to quit. Cry to keep going. So you got to keep on moving. Each day is a separate life. Don't allow yesterday to fuck up your today. And a list of a bunch of quotes that fit the bill for what I'm trying to say here. But getting a woman's respect, give her something to respect. Be on your grind. Find your purpose. You know what I'm saying? Have something that you're passionate about. You know what I'm saying? Have your financial things in order. Be ambitious. Have things that you want to do. Do not be okay with just sitting still. I tell you this right now, that I recommend that you don't do with any woman that you encounter, date as a man, heterosexual man I'm speaking to now for my gay listeners, but for my heterosexual males, you cannot bore a woman, all right? So if you get in that routine, you come home from work, you sit down on the couch, watch whatever, sports TV and shit, like what we having for dinner shit, and you keep doing that, over time, that woman is going to get bored. What happens when people are bored at the job and they don't feel appreciated? They start to wonder. And that's not just for my women, that's for men too. So you keep doing the same old shit and you don't try to better yourself, you're going to feel stagnant. And then, you know what I'm saying? And they say, I'll give it to Alpha Male Strategies. He says this: a man without purpose distracts himself with pleasure. You know what I'm saying? That's where we get into fucking trouble. Y'all know us porn addicts. You know what I'm saying? You get into shit. And coming back from addiction is not easy. It's not easy. It's a daily battle. Still battling that shit, you know? But like building an environment, finding other men that you can kind of communicate with and have these type of conversations about bettering yourself. And it's so much out there. There's so much information that we can learn from each other as men, calling out each other on our shit. You know what I'm saying? And be the men that we have to be for ourselves. And if we become the best version of ourselves, we won't chase women. The women will chase us. You know what I'm saying? We go to what's attractive. You know what I mean? Like, what? Ferrari don't have commercials. You know what I'm saying? Things. Even hell, that Popeye's chicken sandwich didn't even have a fucking commercial. They had black people. And we talked about that shit on social media. But that's a whole nother story. But you get what I'm saying? Like, when you are attractive, you don't chase. It comes to you. And then you assess what's for you and what's you know what I'm saying, and what's not for you. And it's important to know yourself. It's important to understand self-care. It's important to understand mental health and all these things so that you know not to go down the same route in life, having the same type of energies of these narcissistic women who want everything to be about them. They always talk about them. They think that everything that happens is about them. And it teaches you to be like, oh, fuck no. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. Like, you don't talk to a girl or something like that. And then they come up with assumptions as to why you're not talking to them. Because they think that what you're doing is about them. Bitch, ain't nobody talking about you. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing in reverse. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys that be, you tripping off of a girl because they ain't heard nothing. You don't know why you haven't heard from them. So do not create problems that are not there. Wait and find out for your damn self. And if you don't find out, then fuck it. You get it. You move on. That's it. You move on with your fucking life. But if you're trying to get respect as a man, all right, just be the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, truly, know how to listen. Number one, to a woman. Do not dismiss a woman in conversation. Know how to listen. Truly, learn how to listen. It took some time. Don't try to talk over her, and don't let her ass talk over you. You know, some of us get so damn excited when we be in conversation. We don't want to forget shit, so we end up talking over people. But let's be fair in conversation. Don't talk over each other. Don't dismiss each other. Actually listen. You know what I'm saying? Be on top of our fashion game. You know what I'm saying? Maximize your looks as much as possible. Self-grooming. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're looking good out here. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, be what you are. And then, what else? Just, financials. Make sure you got your finances together. So your finances, your looks, and, like I said, your frame. Having self-care. You know what I'm saying? Having self-respect. Truly. You gotta have respect for self. If you don't respect yourself, no one else will. And don't expect people, even if it's family, don't expect them. Even people that might have brought you in this world, don't expect them to respect you if you don't respect yourself. I mean, it depends on your family. I'll tell you that. And it's just a lot that you can learn from when you get disrespected by family, by loved ones, by relatives, whichever, you know what I'm saying, etc. you want to use. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to look out for you. Ain't nobody going to look out for you but you. So I say, learn to respect yourself, and then you'll be able to identify the women that respect men, that value men, number one. Because we can point, like now, I'm at an age, and because of my studying, and I'm not done yet. It's a daily thing that I'm studying with this thing. But I'm recognizing women who value men and women who value themselves. And the women that value themselves are in the rear view fucking mirror. And that is where the fuck they're going to stay, because we're living in an age where men are recognizing their worth. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to continue to do so. So I am doing my part in helping my brothers, my kings, recognize their worth, be more aware of this stuff so that we can have healthy relationships. We can have healthy energy around us, positivity, and we can have peace. Because you get to a certain age, man, that toxic shit used to be like attractive because you know no fucking better. But you get to a point, man, where you just want peace, man. Anybody trying to do all that goddamn hollering every fucking day? What the fuck? Fuck all of that. We want motherfucking peace. You know what I'm saying? So find peace within, so that you can recognize peace with in the external sense, and then you can decide if you want to allow that inside your frame, and make sure that you give her a frame to respect. And you do that by starting with you, self-respect. When do you know that the relationship is over with a woman for you? When respect is no longer served, when chemistry is no longer there, when she wants to operate in her masculine, when she doesn't want to be ambitious, when she wants to tear me down for trying to better myself, when she projects her insecurities onto me, when, I can go on for days, but don't get me wrong, people are human, but you got to decide what's going to be in your life. You are not responsible for a person's insecurities. That is an inside job, all right? An inside job. You are not responsible for how a person feels about themselves, all right? Sure, you can influence, and yeah, it might be nice to read somebody say something nice about you, but if you're in a relationship, and a lot of people go through this shit where you tell your spouse, mate, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you say, I love you, you're beautiful, you're the most handsome man ever. If you hear that all the time, you're not going to believe. You're supposed to tell me that. And we don't find that to be good enough. How retarded are we? We got somebody right there. We don't know how to be grateful for the fact that they tell us that we're beautiful. But that's why you don't want to say shit all the time. If you gave a kid ice cream all the time, then what the fuck is ice cream? You know what I'm saying? Although Nelly Bean, you never get tired of Nelly Bean. I love some Nelly Bean on fucking brownie or fucking apple pie. Back to business. You truly must assess, is this still for me? And, I'll speak on my last relationship, right? And I was in a very, I was in some fucked up shit mentally already. You know what I'm saying? Even before entering the relationship. Like I said, my last committed relationship, I was too afraid to speak up. I felt so fucking alone. I felt so traumatized that I was afraid. I was triggered by this individual's personality. It reminded me of what I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? And I was afraid to make a mistake for love to be taken from me. So I people pleased in hopes that that would give me love, and I got crumbs, you know what I'm saying, at times. And so it left a strong mark in my mind. But I knew it was over when I wanted to be over. Like, I got to a point where I had contemplated ending my life. No joke. Dead ass. I had thought about that shit. I was to the point where I was becoming I was on the verge of doing something that has plagued my family for years, and that's alcoholism. I'm like, I can't live like this. And I'm not making myself out to be a victim. I'm gonna just tell you what the fuck I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, everything I did was on me. That individual, I allowed that individual to do what they did. I take responsibility for my part in that shit. That was solely on me. I didn't have strong enough boundaries. I didn't know what the fuck boundaries was. I wasn't raised with boundaries. But I knew I was done when I realized that this individual is going to do what I grew up in. And seeing that level of like that type of narcissistic behavior, it's like, it's not going to change. Yeah, they'll do, you know what I'm saying, whatever it takes to get you back, and that's to maintain control because you don't want to be alone, right? But they're going to go back and doing what the shit they've been doing because they've done it, you know what I mean? Like, and if fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, you a beta bitch. Fool me 4 times, nigga, why you still here? Fool me 5 times, nigga, why? You know what I mean? Like, and I had to get to that point, like, you gotta go, man. Like, and it just felt, I was holding on to my childhood. I was holding on to the crumbs of love that seemed very familiar to childhood. And I couldn't pull myself from that shit. It was hard. Like, I was raised, I was the type of person that no matter what you did, because I said I love you, I was gonna stay. Even if you didn't love me. And this is the deal, fellas. A woman that does not respect you does not love you. I don't give a fuck what she says out of her mouth to you. If she does not value men, if she does not show respect to you as a man, the bitch don't love you. It is a form of control that's coming out of her mouth because she knows that's what you want to hear. She is speaking to your feminine energy inside you. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with you wanting to love a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's just about knowing which woman to love. And trial and error helps out. Mistakes are there to teach you. You know what I'm saying? And you can look at it as a mistake. You can look at it just something that happened that you were involved in. And I was involved in it. It fucked me up. I allowed it to because I put somebody on a pedestal. Same way I did with my mommy. I put her on a pedestal. And my mommy and that individual are not responsible for my expectations of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so when people do things, when they project their pain onto you and you internalize it, that is when you get into the brainwashing, manipulation, and all that stuff. But overall, you're responsible for you. You're responsible for if you decide to stay in that relationship. Yeah, you got to ask yourself, how much do you love yourself? Do you love yourself enough to leave when you're not being valued? Do you love yourself enough to leave when you're not being respected as a man, bro? And it's sad. Oh, it's sad when we see a man just being talked to like shit by his woman. That's some hard shit to see. You ever be in like a grocery store and see this woman just tearing into her fucking husband and they got kids crying in like the grocery cart and you just trying to get by so you can grab this fucking, some mustard and ketchup so you can get to the fucking cookout or something like that. But it's like, I don't believe that you are okay with this bitch talking to you like this. Like, what the fuck is this shit? But it does happen, and I don't mean to laugh at your pain, but it's funny. Not the situation itself, but the situation, I guess, fuck it, it is. Fuck it, the situation is funny. Perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's how, that's what I guess that's what we do in the black community. We laugh at ourselves. And not to say that people outside do. I'm just saying a whole bunch of shit that's be like, well, we do it too. White people, Asians, you get what I mean? But you get what the fuck I'm talking about. You gotta respect yourself, man. And it took me being like hurt to my motherfucking core. When I gave everything I had And I'm one of those people that when they like shit or they love shit, I'm obsessed. So if I'm like, I'm gonna be the best fucking man I can be for this woman that I claim to love, regardless if she keeps like giving me cold shoulders and, you know what I'm saying, just hollering all the damn time. I'm going to give her everything I've got because I love her so much. I just love the idea of her. I wasn't seeing what was before me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to process that right here before me is a person who says they love me, but does not value me as a man. But I also didn't give her something to respect. I did not give her a frame worth respecting when she started talking to me crazy. Whenever that happens, I should have fucking walked. You know what I'm saying? I should have walked on and stayed gone and not just allow somebody to manipulate me because they yelled. And you know what I'm saying? It reminds you of trauma from childhood. That's where I had to learn from. And I'm glad I did. And anything that is reminiscent of that, I'm in the motherfucking wind. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That is why I find women who operate in their masculine energy such a trigger for me. I'm not going back to that shit ever again. You know what I mean? And yeah, that very well could be some fear still left over talking. I don't give a fuck. I'm not doing that shit again. I won't ever allow a woman to disrespect me any fucking more. I'm able to recognize women who fucking value men, and I appreciate the fuck out of you for doing that. Like you baby, watching this video, that you value men in your life. Your parents raised you to fuck right, or you learned what you wanted in a man by valuing fucking men. But to you bitches that do not value men, and you just do whatever the fuck you feel like doing, fuck you. Forever. From every man that you've ever just played with on that shit. In that sense. Somebody that just was obsessed with your ass. But what can I say, man? Nobody's perfect. We all go round and round. We all done hurt some damn body before. So, you know, but that's just me speaking from that position right there. But well, when I know it's time is like when respect is no longer served, man. Truly, when respect is no longer at the table, you got to get the fuck up, bro. For real, you got to get the fuck up. And I'm just grateful that I was taught how to deal with that shit. You know, by life itself. The universe moved me because I wasn't gonna go. God in His universe was like, nigga, you have got to move. If you can't, this is not gonna work. You're never gonna find peace. Not here. It has been perfectly clear. You will not find your peace here. Your peace is going to be by yourself. You'll be able to recognize what peace is when you learn how to be alone. Because if you learn how to be alone, I'd rather be alone than deal with that shit. That's what life taught me. I'm sure it taught some of y'all the same shit. I'd rather be the fuck alone than be with somebody who is going to tear you the fuck down to project their insecurities onto you. We're not having it. Not in the present moment. Thought I was gonna say 2024, didn't you? Fuck that. But no, for real, in the present moment, we're not dealing with that shit anymore. So, I mean that's when I know, like when seriously though, in present day, when chemistry is not when you no longer have chemistry, when she doesn't value men, when she doesn't compliment you, when she's no longer a compliment to your life, compliment to the frame that you've built, and doesn't understand what you're working on. That's okay. It's not for everybody. Everybody can't go to where you're going when you have a purpose in life. Once you find that purpose, everybody's not going to be able to make it. Enjoy the times that you had, and then we both got to go our separate ways and just be okay with that. It may take some time to process those emotions that may have been generated through that time, but got to go up to a higher altitude. You know what I'm saying? But grateful either way for any time spent. as I love to say, that's what I believe. You know, like when I know I'm like essentially done with a woman in a relationship is when the chemistry is not there, respect is no longer there, and a whole list of other shit that I said in this episode. And I don't really want to go back and figure it out. So rewind this shit and figure out what the fuck I said.